What are your takeaways from this game first and foremost? And can Milwaukee repeat this success going into game four?
The Bucks showed up, plain and simple. Giannis was unstoppable. Whether Phoenix was playing its own, whether they were playing man one on one, he was just exploiting that matchup and dominating the paint. Not only that, he went to the line 17 times and he knocked down 13 of his free throws. Drew Holiday had 21 points. Chris Middleton had 18 points. Even though PJ Tucker only had 7 points, I thought he was a good spark player from them. He gave them some solid minutes here and there. Pat Connaughton knocked down a couple threes. So, by and large, the Bucks came to play in game 3. The way that I see it, this is a series. The fact that Milwaukee was so decisive in the second half. And to answer your question about whether or not they can carry this momentum going into game 4, I definitely think that they can, just because Phoenix doesn't have anything to deal with Giannis. I look at Giannis like going into game 4, potentially replicating the output that he had tonight. 41 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists after a game 2 performance where he dropped 42 points. Like, good luck for Phoenix trying to stop that. That dude has been the MVP of the series as far as I'm concerned through the first 3 games of the series.
It actually kind of makes me laugh because I know that we both had agreed and said that we thought Chris Paul was the MVP of the series, at least up to the point at which we recorded last week. And it's like between these 2 games alone, Giannis has literally 83 points. But between the 3 games, Giannis has 103 points by himself. It's absolutely ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And again, we continue to remember that he's playing on basically like one leg from the injury that he sustained in the previous series. Looking at this from a greater perspective as a team, Milwaukee got contributions from people that did not contribute well enough before. Drew finally showed up, like Kyle said, with 21. Middleton only had 18, but those 18 points were obviously enough. Brook Lopez, I would like to see more out of him. He had 11. But Bobby Portis finally did something. He gave up. He put up 11 points, and then Coddington put up 8. So, if Milwaukee can continue this success and get other people involved and have Giannis be their focal point of offense, eventually you're going to see Phoenix starting to double him. So when Giannis starts up at the top of the key, obviously you're going to let him drive, but you're going to see people collapse and make him pass out. So those role players that Milwaukee has are going to continue to have to make shots for this series to continue. If you're looking at the box score on the Phoenix portion of it, Drake Crowder was probably the most consistent player, going 6 of 7 with 18 points. Ayton started off hot, like Kyle said, going 8 of 11, but fizzled out because of foul trouble. He had 18 points. Chris Paul had 19, and then Devin had his worst performance of the postseason. And I'm going to circle right there because we all know every team that succeeds in the NBA postseason has that one player that is just absolutely dominant throughout that run. And when a player of Devin Booker's caliber has a game like this, 3 of 14, that speaks volumes to how the team is going to have to do, or what the team is going to have to do to make up for those lost points. Because if Devin has a normal night of 25 points, this may be a lot closer of a game if he hits some of those shots. Again, just looking at the percentages, it doesn't bode well for Phoenix, at least in this evening's game. Cam Johnson, my dog, was able to come in clutch with 14 points, including a big dunk on PJ Tucker. I saw that highlight. It was pretty crazy. And overall, Mikal Bridges, he had 4 points. Like, that is very bad considering the game before he had 27. So, overall, Phoenix needs to go back to the drawing board. It is, in fact, a series, and I think that Phoenix is going to have to really take this a lot more serious because Giannis is only ramping up the intensity and the momentum. And if this confidence continues and he goes for another 40 and 10 or 40-plus points, I think that this series might go 7 because Giannis doesn't know that he's ready to walk away from his first opportunity at a championship. And if Devin doesn't turn it around and get his head out of his ass, at least in terms from this game, Milwaukee could turn around and win this series. And again, I'm not saying that it's a guarantee, but when you have somebody that's dropping 40 on back-to-back performances, that does not bode well for a team, at least in history. So Phoenix has got to find a way to at least make life a little bit more complicated for Giannis.